We believe we understand ancient engineering. Simple ropes, simple pulleys, simple mathematics. But deep in the jungles, high in the mountains, and buried beneath the desert, there are structures that defy this simple history. We are talking about walls built with stones weighing 1,500 tons heavy enough to crush a modern tank. We are talking about masonry fit together so perfectly, you can't slide a piece of paper between the blocks. Modern engineers cannot replicate this work today. Not without massive cranes and lasers. Who built these structures? And why? From a platform supporting a Roman temple to a mountain fortress carved from single boulders. These are the 7 ancient megastructures that should be impossible. Number 7. The 1,500-ton foundation. In the Bekaa Valley of Lebanon sits the ruins of Baalbek, home to the largest Roman temple ever built. But the Roman temple is not the mystery. The foundation it sits on is. Beneath the temple of Jupiter, there is a giant retaining wall. In the middle of this wall are 3 massive limestone blocks known as the trilithon. Each one of these blocks weighs over 800 tons. That's the weight of 4 Boeing 747 jets. Even more astonishing, near the quarry, a block known as the Stone of the South lies half cut from the ground. It weighs an estimated 1,500 tons. How did the Romans, or whoever came before them, lift, transport, and perfectly position these stones without breaking them? Even with modern cranes and hydraulics, moving a 1,500-ton block is almost impossible. Number 6. The walls of the giants. High in the Andes Mountains of Peru, overlooking the city of Cusco, sits the fortress of Saksaywaman. To the casual observer, it looks like a pile of rocks. But look closer. These are not just rocks. They are massive limestone blocks, some weighing over 120 tons, cut into irregular polygon shapes. And here is the miracle. They are fitted together without a single drop of mortar. The joinery is so precise that you cannot fit a razor blade between the stones. Even after centuries of earthquakes that flattened the modern Spanish buildings nearby, these walls have not moved an inch. Mainstream archaeology says the Incas built this with stone hammers and bronze chisels. But engineers point out that to cut these stones with such complex angles, you would need 3D modeling and diamond-tipped tools. Number 5. The monolith that was too heavy to move. If you think the stones at Baalbek are big, they are nothing compared to this. Located near Nanjing, China, the Yangshan Quarry hides the largest megalith ever carved by human hands. It was ordered by the Yongle Emperor in the 15th century. There are 3 pieces, a base, a body, and a head. If assembled, this stele would stand 240 feet tall. But the weight is the terrifying part. The base alone weighs 16,000 tons. The entire structure would weigh over 31,000 tons. To put that in perspective, that is the weight of 3 Eiffel Towers, carved out of a single mountain. Historians say they realized it was too heavy to move, so they abandoned it. But why would master engineers carve 30,000 tons of rock before realizing they couldn't move it? Number 4. The mountain carved from the top down. Most structures are built by adding stone upon stone. The Kailasa Temple in Ellora, India, was built by taking stone away. This isn't just a temple. It is a megalithic complex carved entirely out of a single vertical basalt cliff face. Builders had to remove 200,000 tons of rock. And they didn't just dig a hole. They carved intricate pillars, elephants, staircases, and statues, all from the same piece of rock. If they made a single mistake, one crack, one wrong chip, the entire temple would be ruined. Legend says it was built in just 18 years. But modern civil engineers say that with manual labor, removing that much debris would take over 100 years. So how did they do it? Number 3. The Venice of the Pacific. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean, Thousands of miles from the nearest continent lies the abandoned city of Nan Madol. It is an archipelago of 92 artificial islands connected by canals. But these islands aren't made of sand. They are made of massive magnetic basalt logs, stacked like Lincoln logs. Some of these stones weigh 50 tons. The nearest quarry is on a different island. That means primitive islanders had to float 50-ton rocks across the ocean on wooden rafts without them sinking. The locals have a different explanation. They say the city wasn't built by hands. They say it was built by twin sorcerers who levitated the stones into place. Number 2. The Lego blocks of the gods. Located 13,000 feet above sea level, Puma Punku defies logic. The stones here are made of andesite, one of the hardest rocks on Earth. Yet they are cut with laser-like precision. We find perfectly drilled holes, consistent depth, and right angles that look like they were machined in a factory. But the most famous mystery is the H blocks. These appear to be prefabricated modular units. They interlock perfectly, like giant Lego bricks. We have no record of any civilization in this region having the technology to cut andesite with this level of industrial precision. Who were they, and where did their tools go? And finally, number 1, the geometry of the gods. You cannot talk about impossible structures without the Great Pyramid of Giza, but we aren't talking about its size. We are talking about its precision. The Great Pyramid consists of 2.3 million stone blocks. It is aligned to true north with an accuracy of 3/60th of a degree. That is more accurate than the Royal Observatory in London. But it gets stranger. The pyramid encodes the dimensions of the Earth. If you take the height of the pyramid and multiply it by 43,200, you get the polar radius of the Earth. If you take the base perimeter and multiply it by 43,200, you get the equatorial circumference of the Earth. Is it a coincidence? Or is this massive structure not a tomb, but a message? A message in stone, proving that a highly advanced civilization mapped the world long before we did. We are told our ancestors were primitive. But looking at these stones, the precision of Egypt, the weight of Baalbek, the puzzles of Peru, we have to ask a terrifying question. Are we the pinnacle of civilization? Or are we a species with amnesia, living in the ruins of giants? We have only scratched the surface of the forbidden's history. In our next dossier, we will investigate the ancient maps that show Antarctica without ice. If you want to be part of this investigation, you must join the archive. Click that subscribe button right now. Which of these structures do you think is the most impossible? The pyramid or the wall? Tell me your theory in the comments below. I am the professor, and this is the Obsidian Archive.